What's going on, guys? Sick Bid here, aka me, coming at you with another Draft League Presents. Today, whoo, boy, we got a special one today. Today we got Mega-Mawile and the Draft League Presents. Alright? This is a beautiful Pokemon, okay? I think it probably, more or less, probably should be banned, because it's going to probably take one Pokemon out, like, almost every single time. But, and it's got a lot of coverage moves. I think it should be your number one draft pick. I actually just got into, I just got done with the draft. I picked this thing with my third round. My third round. Now, some people say, okay, yeah, it's a little bit overhyped or whatever. This thing is nasty. It makes the other team prep a lot. You usually have to bring a very, very, very strong defensive wall for this guy. We'll get into that a little bit later. But I think I only took it because, it's the third round and that Pokemon shouldn't be there. I needed a fairy type. So I took it. But very, very strong. Very, very strong Pokemon. We will get into why it's so dang strong. But where I think it should be taken is I think it should be, for me personally, with the bulky, I think it is a very, very top mon. It does require a little bit of support, maybe a Trick Room setter or something like that. So it does take another Pokemon kind of to go with it. But if you just want to do regular, it's really good at sweeping late game with some of its priority moves. One of its really good priority moves. So that's just something to think about. Access to good setup. So it's a very, very strong Pokemon. I think it's, late first round, early second round. And in some drafts, it's broken, and I think it's like a top 3, top 4 pick. So it just depends on what kind of rule set. But it's very, very strong Pokemon. Don't let this go 16 picks, because it will be taken. And it should be. So let's get into Mega-Mawile. Boom. Alright, so we're going to talk about this here. 85. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, nah, hell no. So this is what we got here. We got the Steel Fairy type. Okay, hold on. Everybody check this out. I'm going to go over it one more time. Boom. Dragon poison immunities. Bug 4 times resistance. Dark, fairy, flying, grass, ice, normal, psychic, rock. Only weak to fire and ground. Are you kidding me? Okay, fire and ground only weakness, very, very easy to patch up. You get a levitating water, or you get, something like that, a flying water type, pretty freaking good. Something like that, a dragon type. There's a whole bunch of levitating dragons. There's a whole bunch of dragon flyings. So a lot of things that you can match this up with. Holy crap! That amount of resistances. With this good bulk, something kind of interesting. Let's look at the stat, or let's look at the ability. I'm sorry, what does that say? Your Pokemon's attack is doubled? Well, let's look at the attack. Maybe it's not that big. 105, you say? So you're talking 210 base power. That doesn't seem right. Mega-Medicham, he's what? 100 base attack power, and he's known as one of the best wall breakers in the game. Now, of course, Mega-Medicham has 100 speed, so it's a little bit faster. But let's kind of look at the bulk and see, maybe we can take a hit or something. 50 HP, that's not the best. 125 defense, that's pretty freaking good with this typing. 95 special defense, that's pretty freaking good with this typing. Holy moly! And the ability to switch in without taking damage from dragon or poison type attacks. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Holy moly, boys and girls. 210 attack. You see 105 here? It's 210. A lot of the times you're not investing too much in speed, so you can invest a lot in that HP, making it, a little bit 70 or 8 or 75, equivalent to hit points. And you got a 75, 125, 95 Pokemon. Very, very strong. A lot of the times doesn't have to invest that much into your attack to just do massive amounts. So that's something to think about. You can invest in either defense or a little bit into speed if you need it. But very, very dangerous Pokemon. Just the statistics alone. You don't have any missed statistics or any stats into your special attack, really. Not a lot in HP and not a lot of speed, but the rest have a lot in them. So that's something really, really to think about. And the typing is one of the best typing in the game, with two of the strongest typings in the game. I think Steel and Fairy are hands down, to me, the best typings. Or yeah, the best typings. Both, kind of handling those dragons. Both of them usually, can do it. And in this case, it's a immunity to it. So it's really, really, really strong Pokemon. Let's go down here. So it does have to hold its Mawile light. So a lot of the times that's not going to be the best. You're missing kind of your item, but you get these really strong stats and ability. But before, and I almost missed this, before I go any further, before Mega Evolving, you can always intimidate the other Pokemon. Okay, so you come in, you intimidate, then you Mega Evolve, then you have your huge power. Okay, so let's say you come in on a physical attacker or something like that. It uses a Dragon type move like Outrage or Dragon Claw or something. You intimidate it first, then you're immune, then you Mega Evolve, and you blow it up with Play Rough or whatever kind of Swords Dance. You can Swords Dance up in front of it if it's choiced in any way, and then you're Play Roughing, or you're Iron Heading, or you're Sucker Punching, or you're just doing whatever you want to. So that's something interesting that Mawile brings, is the Intimidate before Mega Evolving. Something to think about. Okay, so we have a pretty basic set, and this is really it sweeps, it sweeps, and it wall breaks at the same time. Okay, so you got Swords Dance, Play Rough, Sucker Punch, Knockoff, or Thunder Punch. If you need to hit those water flying Pokemon. It also gets Ice Punch. Also it gets a whole bunch of those punches that are very, very strong. But Swords Dance allows it to get up to crazy. I mean, it's probably like 1200, I think, because I think it gets to like 670 something with Max Attack Adamant, which is a lot of the time what you're going, because you don't need the speed, or you don't need another stat. So you can go Max Attack Adamant and just absolutely just wreck things. So Swords Dance in combination with Sucker Punch can really make for a really good late game sweeper. Sucker Punch, although it is priority, it does only have +1 priority, and the other Pokemon has to attack. So you kind of got to call the bulk ups, or those kind of different setup moves. You kind of have to call those things. So that's something to think about. Knockoff is really good for just hitting whatever you want super freaking hard with 120 base power attack, and if they survive, not 120, 130 base power, and if they survive, then it knocks off their dang item, and you just Sucker Punch them. Crazy. 2 Dark type moves. Usually that's not really, a lot of people don't do it, but it's not frowned upon here because 1 is priority and 1 is one of the best moves in the game. And then Play Rough for everything else. It does have a 90% accuracy, but very, very strong. I don't know that I've actually ever seen a attack lowering from a Play Rough. I don't think I've ever seen that. But we shall move on. So we have now just a 4 attack set. It's got Brick Break for breaking those screens, or Fire Fang. So the only punch it doesn't get, it gets Ice Punch and Thunder Punch. It does not get Fire Punch, so you have to run that Fire Fang. But you could run your Brick Break, Ice Punch, Thunder Punch, Play Rough for all your coverage, or you can have a little bit of a sweeper in you with a Sucker Punch. So that's something to think about. And you can see again, this is an Adamant Max Attack set. Just reinforcing that. If you're worried about switches, you can also go sub on the switch and either Ice Punch or Thunder Punch, or you can Focus Punch, knowing that you will be behind that sub, and break through, and then pop whatever with a strong 150 base power fighting type move. So that's really freaking strong, 2 times stronger than your Brick Break, and your Brick Break is hitting hard, so that's something to think about. So sub on those Pokemon that that are switching out. and then picking your move whatever you want to, because they're trying to call whether it be an immunity or something like that. They're trying to call that, right? Because you kind of have to dance around the Mega-Mawile because it's so dang strong. So that's something to think about. Very viable set. So we will get into the coverage moves, but I can pretty much say that you're gonna run probably 8-10 moves on Mega-Mawile, and that's a good thing. This thing, it does very, very good with just what it has. Okay, now there is some heat sets that we're gonna look at, that we're gonna talk about with the different moves, but it is a very, very strong Pokemon. So let's get into it. Ancient Power, never. Astonish, no. Track, no. Baton Pass could be used, not likely. Body Slam's pretty good. Brick Break's great for breaking screens. Counter, not using it too much because you're so dang strong already. Nope. Dynamic Punch is an interesting one, but probably not. No, not Endure. Nope. Facade could be interesting if you think that they have let's say they have a Sableye on the other team. You know that you're going to get burned. You might as well just start Facading. You know what I'm saying? After the Sableye dies from like a Play Rough or something. Fire Fang is your fire coverage here. It's definitely used a fair amount. Does have a 95% accuracy. I have missed this, but I have also gotten a flinch and a burn in the same turn. So that's something interesting to think about. Focus Punch is really good for those subsets. I would almost only use it for a subset, but if you know your opponent and you know that they're going to switch out, go ahead and Focus Punch. As long as they're not U-turning. Grass Knot, I'm not using that too much. Ice Fang, Ice Punch is what you're going to be using for your stab. Let's see here. Iron Head, of course. Knockoff is great. Magnet Rise is kind of heat. Let's see here. Misty Terrain can be interesting, but you're not going to use it too much. Pain Split is actually a really heat thing to run because you don't have a lot of HP, so you can actually heal up quite a bit after a hit. So that's something interesting to think about. Play Rough is your great stab. Poison Fang is okay. The thing about Poison Fang is it will badly poison. So this is not just a regular poison. It does 6% every time. This is starts off 12%, I think, or no, maybe it's 10, maybe it's 6. Starts off 6, goes to 12, 18, 24, so on and so forth. It is a badly poison. It's a 50% chance to badly poison. So that's something interesting. Not a lot of Pokemon get this, so that's something interesting to think about. Power Up Punch, I would probably, unless it's like Tyranitar or something, I would always probably use Swords Dance, in my opinion. Let's see here. Rest is interesting. I'd rather Pain Split. Rock Slide, of course. It gets Stone Edge down here for your better Rock Stab. Let's see here. Rock Tomb, I guess. Secret Power. Size. Nope. Sing could be interesting if you hit it. That's actually a really heat set. You sing, sub, and then go to town. So that could be interesting. You have to run only 2 coverage moves, but I could see it gets Stealth Rock. Please. It's actually one of the best Stealth Rockers in that if you want to force out really strong, or if you want to force out Pokemon and just set your Stealth Rocks, I could see it, but it really wants to Swords Dance and Sucker Punch and Play Rough. It wants these kind of coverage moves too with Ice Punch and different things like that. So I really don't like it too much like that. SD, of course. Taunt is pretty good on something coming in. Thunder Punch, of course. I think that's really it for Mawile. It's missing, some really reliable recovery other than maybe a Pain Split. I wouldn't call it reliable at all, but that's kind of what it's missing from its bulky standpoint. But you talk about sheer power. This is a physical attacker by anybody's means. This is very, very strong. It has the highest attack stat in the game, period. Just off rip. Highest attack stat. And it's so much stronger than a lot of other Pokemon uninvested. Just uninvested, it's just stronger. Okay, Mega Medicham maybe, Mega Glade maybe not, if they're fully invested and you're not. But, or Kyurem Black. But this thing is so dang strong. You want something that can come in and kind of be versatile in the way that it attacks. This is your Pokemon. This is a very, very strong Pokemon. You do kind of have to, it's got a little bit of a learning curve because the different kind of Pokemon that you kind of need to structure around it, when to bring it in safely, when to scout on different things like that. Because a lot of the times when you bring it in that first time, you kind of want to scout, see what's going on. Maybe he's got some heat that I didn't even see. So you kind of bring it in, scout, or go for a very strong attack, maybe sucker, something like that. You kind of want to see how your opponent plays it. But if you know that your opponent, if you scouted enough already and you bring this guy in, click the button that you think is in front of you or sub up. You know what I'm saying? So it can be easily used. Kind of have to figure out what you want to do with it. Works really well with the Trick Room, with the Trick Room aspect. Before we get into pairings, though, let's get into these DLC leaked moves. I just want to make sure. DLC leaked moves. Okay. Okay, not Manaphy here. Let's Control F. Mawile. Did I spell that wrong? Oh, it's in, yeah. Alright, let's see here. I just need to make sure that I didn't miss anything. I know Psychic Fangs is something that it gets. Psychic Fangs is very good. Gets the Kiss, but you're not going to be using that too much. Crunch, I don't know if I went over that. I think it gets it in, but just in case it doesn't get Crunch in the other one, it might not. Crunch is also a really good one. Let's see here. I'm pretty sure I'm missing something else, and I will try to find it as best I can. Yeah. Okay, Geiga, right? Okay, yeah, yep, yippers. Gets the kicks, gets kick and punch, but I don't know, 75%, 85% accurate, not to me. I would not mess with it, in my opinion. Psychic Fangs, here you go. There's that move, Psychic Fangs. Nope. Yes, sir. Yeah, so I guess those are really the only ones of note. So let me make sure here. Okay, no, it's in. Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, so we went over all the moves, kind of the Gen 8 moves that kind of made it good. Psychic Fangs is huge. Crunch is good. Let me just make sure that Crunch isn't in here, and I didn't just skip over it. Where's Dark Pulse? That's where it was next to. Okay, so it already had Crunch. Okay, so I'm just a dummy. Okay, so Crunch, yeah, Psychic Fangs. That's pretty much it, really. Yeah, Psychic Fangs. So that's one of the big Gen 8 moves. So it didn't really get crazy within Gen 8, but it's still a really strong Pokemon. Let's talk about pairings here. So let's go in here. I know P2, Porygon 2, is a very good pairing with it. If I could just find where that Pokemon is. Porygon 2. Okay, so at 12 points, that's kind of high for a P2. In my opinion, kind of high for a P2. But still, nonetheless, a very good matchup with it because of that Eviolite bulk and its ability to Trick Room and Teleport, giving Mawile a free switch without having to lose your Trick Room Pokemon, kind of being a little bit bulkier, and even in Trick Room, Teleport is -6 priority, so it's definitely getting that free switch in. Bring in Mawile on that nice little Trick Room, saying, hey Mawile, here's 3 turns, do what you want, do the damage that I need you to. Let's take out some Pokemon. I'll bring in Porygon again on a switch, or maybe leave in Mawile because you've already Swords Danced, because you know that you can eat a hit, and then you start attacking. You've beat the checks already, so now you can just sucker punch your way through and defeat the rest of the team. So that's something to think about. You kind of want a hazard stacker with this so that sucker punch can really finish off those kills. I wouldn't say Klefki this time. Something more along the lines of like a Chestnut or a Spike Stacker. Toxapex's Toxic Spikes can help out quite a bit. But just any other Spiker as well can do really well. I think that hazards don't really affect Mawile too much. So the Toxic Spikes, the Stealth Rocks, they're not that big of a deal really. against this Pokemon in particular. So that's just something to think about. You can start building kind of more of a hazard weak team, because you have one Pokemon that's not really weak to them hazards too much, except for spikes can wear down quite a bit. But other than that, Stealth Rocks isn't going to do but what, maybe 6.5%. I think also another pairing is a really good Dragon type. Very, very good Dragon type with this would be really, really nice. Something that is fire and ground. So like I said, maybe a Dragon, maybe Hydreigon if you can swing that. Something like that. Dragonite, of course, is really, really nice at 15 points here. Hydreigon is up here at 17. So I don't know. I think Mega Sceptile is kind of a slept-on one. That's a Dragon Grass. Oh, no, you don't want... Excuse me. Messed up my Pokemon. You do not want Sceptile here. Dragon, let's see. Haxorus is pretty good here. Salamence is great. That's even 1 point below. Oh, no, they're on the same points. Let's see here. Yeah, you don't want most of these. Nope. Let's see here. Great with Torn. Torn's really good for this guy. But I would say P2, if you're looking for exact pairings. Beautiful, beautiful pairings with Mawile. P2, Dragon Flying Pokemon. Trick Room Setter, Uxie maybe. Cresselia. Things like that. Memento, Healing Wish, those kind of guys. You bring in Mawile, bop, 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 Healing Wish. After Trick Room, Memento, something like that. To really get this guy in for free. This guy wants to come in for free. This guy wants to slam in Trick Room, out of Trick Room, sweep teams. He does a whole bunch, or he or she, depending on your gender, for Mawile. Very, very strong Pokemon. Very, very strong typing. Very, very good Pokemon. But I think that's it from me. So that's Sick Bid, aka Meek, with another Draft League Presents. Whew!